everybody, JC here with another TNI news video. Now we've got a lot to cover today, so let's hop right into it. And first thing, I just want to recap or follow up on a couple of things I had talked about in yesterday's video. So first of all, Hasbro confirmed yesterday evening for us that Marvel vs. Capcom 2-pack that I told you about will be in the 4-inch scale. I know a lot of you 6-inch collectors are disappointed, but it is going to be in the smaller scale. This 2-pack features figures of Iron Man and Mega Man X. Hasbro also told us that these figures should have a fair amount of articulation, especially the Mega Man figure. They said that fans should be really happy with that one. And it will be a Target exclusive, due out in late August or early September. Also, they revealed another 2-pack. This is also in the 4-inch scale. It's a Thor 2-pack featuring figures, comic book versions of Enchantress and Executioner. The Enchantress figure is a new figure. It's not just a re-release of the previous one we got in that line. And the Executioner figure is one that they showed off a couple years ago and are now finally releasing. And that'll be also out in August. Should be available everywhere, and it'll start hitting shelves along with the rest of the Thor products that'll be coming about that time. And then also they confirmed that the release date for the Marvel Knights wave and the Thor wave that I told you about, this is the 6-inch figures, should be August 1st is when we first start seeing them hit shelves. Now, I would still take that as a grain of salt that, you know, we might not see them exactly on August 1st, could even be a little bit earlier, but basically that early August time frame is when you should start seeing them on shelves. Okay, now moving on to other news, I wanted to recap the NECA San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. I'd already told you in a previous video about a couple of these, but since then they've revealed more exclusives. They've actually revealed all their exclusives now. So just to recap, we're getting that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles box set. This is the 6-inch scale figures featuring the 4 turtles and then Shredder, 2 foot soldiers, and Krang and a robot walker. And these are based on the classic animated series. This set is going to cost $200 and come in a special collector case and will be limited. They said that one's going to be limited to 5,000 pieces. So that one I'd already told you about. And then I also told you about the 7-inch Aliens Sewer Mutation figure. That one's going to cost $30. But since then, 3 more exclusives have been revealed. They're going to be doing Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey Retro 8-inch figure of Death. That one's going to cost $35 and be limited to 1,000 pieces. They're going to be doing a Caroline display set. This comes in fancy packaging with LED writing and will cost $40 and be limited to 3,000 pieces. And the final one they revealed was a new 7-inch Predator Dutch figure in his Jungle Briefing outfit. This is basically the red polo shirt that he was wearing at the beginning of the movie. So the only thing missing with that is we need a Carl Weathers figure to go along so they can do the arm wrestling handshake like you see in the beginning of the movie. But that figure, that Dutch figure, is going to be limited to 3,000 pieces and cost $30. Now, if you're not attending San Diego Comic-Con this year, you can still attain these figures online on their website, at their store. The only one that you can't just directly pick up is the Alien figure. That one you can only get if you're part of their Alien fan club. So basically they want you to join their Alien Club if you want to be able to get that online. But the others you can just basically pre-order, and they'll start opening pre-orders for these figures on June 20th, basically from June 20th to June 23rd. And the pre-orders will start opening up on their website at 1 p.m. Eastern Time and then run through the day until they go through the set quantities they have. They basically have set certain quantities each day, and so the sale will start at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, or the pre-sale I should say, and then will last until however many quantities they have allocated that day. So if you want to get your hands on these, especially the Turtles set, I would definitely recommend that you get on around 1 p.m. Eastern Time exactly, because I doubt that's going to last long. And then, like I said, you'll have 3 different days to try and pre-order those from June 20th to June 23rd. And then in other NECA news, they also revealed the other day their Series 18 Predator figures. And so this one is going to come, this wave is going to come with 3 different figures based on the Dark Horse Comics series. We're going to get the Hornhead Predator, the broken tusk predator, and then the female predator, or lady part, she's a female part of the predator clan, and I can't really pronounce her name. It's Machinko. Yeah, I'm not even going to try the last name, but it's pretty cool that, you know, she's kind of unique because, again, she's a female, done up in this predator gear and stuff. I haven't read the story with her, so I'm not that familiar myself with the character, but definitely I think it looks cool. And this wave is due out in November and is up for pre-order now at places like Big Bad Toy Store. Switching gears to McFarlane Toys, McFarlane Toys announced that they're going to be doing Stranger Things figures, 7-inch figures. This is based on the Netflix Stranger Things series. These figures are going to be part of their Color Tops line, so these figures are going to have around 11 or 12 points of articulation. And the first two figures that they have announced that they're doing are the Chief Hopper and then 11. And those will be out in November. I don't have images of those figures yet. We'll probably see those during San Diego Comic-Con time, but they have not yet released images of the figures. And in other McFarlane news, it was announced this week that there will be a 2017 San Diego Comic-Con Walking Dead box set. It's called the Shiva Force box set, and you'll notice that the packaging is very reminiscent of that from G.I. Joe. So I guess this is a nod to G.I. Joe, this set. And it'll be limited to 1,000 pieces and priced at $100. This is from McFarlane Toys, but you'll be able to purchase it at the Skybound Entertainment booth at Comic-Con, so it's a joint effort between Skybound and McFarlane Toys. But, you know, if you're a G.I. Joe fan and a Walking Dead fan, I guess this is kind of a cool mashup that you'll want to check out. And on the bad news front this week, it was announced by Super 7 that they would not be able to take over doing figures for ThunderCats from Mattel. The reason given was that Warner Brothers denied them the license. A reason why they were denied was not given, so it could be that Warner Brothers is looking to do something else with the license, or it could be they just felt a small company like Super 7 couldn't handle it. It's unclear, but unfortunately, if you were hoping that we were going to continue to get Mattel-like figures from Super 7, that is not going to happen. Now, as far as I know of, companies like Mezco still have their ThunderCats license and could do like 112 collective figures. They've said in the past that they have the ability to do that, so I don't know why they haven't. Maybe they just don't feel the sales are warranted, but I suppose at some point we could maybe see 112 collective figures for ThunderCats. But right now, it looks like ThunderCats is basically dead, and again, we're not going to be getting a continuation of the Mattel ThunderCats figures from Super 7. Now, switching over to Diamond Select Toys, they announced to us that the Pirates of the Caribbean Select 7-inch scale figures that they were doing for the new movie featuring Jack Sparrow and Captain Barbossa, those figures have been canceled. I wasn't given a specific reason why, but I'm sure it was due to lack of retail interest. Also probably didn't help that the movie didn't do super great at the box office. Also, there was an image that showed up online for their Marvel Select Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Star-Lord. Now, the image shows the figure with an unmasked head, which I've got to say looks very good. But unfortunately, Diamond Select Toys informs us that the figure will not actually come with that unmasked head. It will come with a masked head. Otherwise, what you see here is what you'll get, and it also includes that Rocket Raccoon figure, which does seem to have some limited articulation. Actually, for the size of it, it looks like it has decent articulation. But again, the unmasked head that you see in this image that's been floating around will not be included with the figure, unfortunately. And the figure itself is due out in July. And on the Star Wars front this week, we got some new updated images for Hasbro's 6-inch Black Series Hera figure. They made some modifications to it since we last saw it, and they also announced that the figure will see release on September 1st, essentially along with the first wave of Last Jedi product. September 1st is Force Friday this year, so that's the day when all the new Star Wars products will be hitting shelves this fall. And then for a final piece of news this week, we've got a look at Hasbro's first Transformer San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It's a Voyager-class Optimus Prime from the new movie. And so he transforms from his truck mode to his robot mode. And this set is said to include an exclusive authentic piece of truck tire. Yes, you heard me right. An authentic piece of truck tire that was used in the movie, the new movie Last Night, will be included with this, along with a certificate of authenticity. So this set will cost $49.99. It'll be available at the Hasbro booth at Comic-Con, and then there should be a limited number of these available at Hasbro Toy Shop sometime after the convention. Okay, so that's it for news this week. Now on to the Q&A portion of the video. If you're not familiar with the Q&A, this is where you guys ask questions and then I pick some out and read them and try and answer them to the best of my ability. So if you want to have a question possibly asked for a future video, just ask it in the comment section below. Just put Q&A with your question and I'll try and get to it next week. But for this week, I've got 3 questions. The first one comes from Hunting, who asks, will the DC Icons Rebirth Flash be released on single card or not? Thanks for the fig news. So at this time, there's been no announcement of that Flash figure from the Rebirth box set being re-released on single card. The only 2 figures in the box set, that I should say 3, because technically the Cyborg figure was released as a deluxe figure, but the only other 2 that are being released on single card, that at least that have been announced at this point, are the Batman and the Superman figures, which will not have any additional accessories. It's just the exact same thing we got in the box set, only now those 2 will be released on single card. But as for Flash, there's been no indication at this time that they will be re-releasing that one. Not down the road, you know, who knows, but at this time there's been no announcement of that. Rolando asks, do you know if NECA is going to make Blade Runner figures based on the original 1982 movie? So I went to NECA and asked this, and their answer was for 2017 they will only be doing figures for the new Blade Runner movie, not the classic one. Now that doesn't mean at some point they couldn't do figures based on the classic movie, and in fact if the new movie does well and the figures for the new movie sell well, I would not be surprised if in 2018 we didn't see some figures based on the classic movie. But at this time there's no plans, no immediate plans for 4 figures based on the classic movie, just the new movie. And then the final question comes from Bill Berger, who asks, any chance that we'll see a 6-inch scale line of Indiana Jones figures? I love those movies and I think a lot of collectors would love to have some figures from the films. So right now, no indication whatsoever of 6-inch Indiana Jones figures. I would say right now, at least from Hasbro, I assume that's what you're talking about, is like Black Series type figures for Indiana Jones. And I would say since there is a new movie in the works, you know, we could see something down the road, but like I said, right now, no immediate plans for 6-inch figures based on Indiana Jones. But as we get closer to the new movie being released, like I said, I would not be surprised if we didn't see something along those lines. Okay, so that's it. Like I said, if you've got a question for a future Q&A, just ask it down below, put Q&A next to it, and I'll try and get to it. As always, I ask, please like the video if you're so inclined, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. It's a good way to keep in touch with me if you have a question or something along those lines. And until next time, guys, I will catch you later.